Hello, hello, and welcome again to another version and a story of eXp Commercial Explained on Thursdays. I just want to say Happy New Year again. I think I'm allowed to say that this whole month as we're starting to get started up again. And we are so excited at eXp Commercial for what we've accomplished in 2021. And we are super excited. I know, and for 2022, we're going to really launch and go to the moon and beyond and just out of the solar system. So it's really exciting. So my name is James Wong. I'm eXp Commercial President. I'm here with Stephanie Gillison, Director of Growth. Yes, you heard it, because she's going to help expand everything eXp Commercial as we are growing the agent count, how we expand, but also the ancillary services that we're building and really attracting and getting more sponsors and people to see what we're doing. So if you like, please follow us on LinkedIn and follow us on YouTube and also Facebook, because we have so much good information, rebuilding the website for everything commercial that you would like to see, plus bigger and better with our symposium. So it is really, really excited that we did this. And kind of recapping on 2021, we built this from nothing, and we just added all the pieces that we knew what we needed to do for commercial. It was doing transaction. It was doing brokerage. It was doing leasing. And Steph, one of the things is we are not a franchise and we are not brick and mortar. We are, like how Amazon displaced a lot of the retail, how Netflix displaced Blockbuster. We are now being called the Amazon of real estate. And here at eXp Commercial, we are making dramatic changes, really changing the way the industry is done, changing the way the industry looks, and really doing a lot of good. But Steph, you have so much background on the franchise, and and I heard your story and your journey into commercial real estate. I love it. So if you don't mind sharing, that opportunity that you had with eXp 4 years ago.
Absolutely, Jim. And I mean, that's what it is. When you own your own brokerage and you're independent, or even if you're affiliated with a national brand, but they're operating as a franchise, everybody's siloed. You're independently owned and operated. You don't have the ability to collaborate. And that is what we're built for. So when I get on growth calls with commercial practitioners across this country, I put forth exactly what we are, which is this entire globe is your farmland and there is no territory. The entire globe becomes your territory. The product specialty you want to do becomes exactly what you're able to do. And we're able to collaborate because we're all business partners in this model. We have this different culture because if Ricky is successful in Florida, I'm successful in Kentucky, and John is successful in Minnesota, it all makes sense because we are business partners. And then we have the international collaboration to where we don't have to give away opportunities. We are one global company where all the back office systems are the same. And so when Ricky or whomever has a deal to do in India, we can make that happen. And we can guarantee the collection of the fee and the commission. That's what makes sense when you're affiliated with a brokerage, is that everything becomes your land to farm and to do deals. Jim, I was on a call this morning with a gentleman that said, I don't want to hear about this. I am at, a company that my commission split is 90-10. And I said, that's great. But here's what I want you to tell me. What did you pay your broker in 2021? He said $187,000. And I said, well, that's why you're going to listen to me, because we're not going to focus on the 80-20 split. We're going to focus on the $20,000 cap. We're going to focus on the fact that you're going to come to this company. You're going to collaborate around this globe. You're going to be opportunities left and right, referrals from eXp Realty, a separate brokerage, but the clientele of $111.1 billion in closed homes, those going back and asking those clients, what are their commercial opportunities and what are their business opportunities? And then you're never going to pay us more than $20K in a cap. He said, sign me up. And here's why. Because that's one deal, Steph. That's one deal for me. And he's right. It is one deal. And that's what this is about. We're going to hear later today about how the technology in our toolkit really, truly scales a business. But Jim, we were both broker owners. We were paying so much overhead to have our agents have access to tools, because even though we had successful brokerages, we didn't have the buying power. We didn't have the buying power to negotiate with these players and to get the best deal. And for $250 a month, we could have never delivered that on our own. But here at a publicly traded company with a $5 billion market cap, We can do that. And that's what we've done for $250 a month. How many technologies have we demoed over the course of a year? My goodness.
We had so many opportunities to demo as you know, especially the way eXp and now the metaverse has been in the news so often that everyone has been reaching out, trying to collaborate, and it takes so much time. And that's why, Steph, having you over with me to really vet and look through all the technology and what are the best tools for our agents, our commercial agents doing transactions, doing leasing, doing business opportunities, actually, and doing the finance and capital markets and other pieces of the company, you know, that we're putting together, because it is not just in a silo, but it's all these opportunities and technology, whether you like it or not, you better be using it, applying it, and leveraging, you know, these capabilities. But here at eXp, literally, we look at all these tools. We speak with experts in the industry of what's coming, what changes in technology is coming. You know, we're always hearing right now the metaverse. We're all hearing different things with blockchain. We're all hearing different things with AI, we're smart learning, computer, you know, all these different innovations. And that's the great thing that we're doing, is always staying in front, listening, learning, and adapting this to our company. And, you know, you're right, Steph. When we talked about owning our own company, building it from scratch, and now really what we didn't like doing is the operational crossing T's, dotting I's, filing all the taxes, doing all the compliance, and the worst sometimes, going to depositions, which as broker owners, that's what we had to do. So when people say that, hey, you know, I keep all the money, well, if you really factor your time and other people's time and everything else that you have, do you really keep all of the money? Most likely not. You know, your time has to be always factored in, as any business owner knows, because it's not a business. And does the business run if you're not there? But this is what I was speaking with a lot of our friends, that I say the old school companies. We wanted to always be a principle to create passive income. We always wanted to create a way that we could make some money when we're sleeping or on vacation or doing other things. But a lot of times, by owning the building or running new businesses, we have liability. But here at eXp, because we are one company, we are corporate, not franchised, we have so many opportunities to own stock. And this revenue share, I said, you know,
Absolutely.
it's just doing the job we do, doing the business we do, working with the friends we want to work, training the new agents we like with revenue share. And Steph, I think you know revenue share better than anyone else, how this works. And I just love how revenue shares, just by doing your job, not even worrying about it if you're a top producer.
You know, it's growing and scaling a business. Revenue share puts every single agent, no matter what level you're at, brand new to the industry or a senior in the industry, it puts you in that ownership chair for you to collect part of that company dollar. So as that 20% is paid into eXp, half of that stays for us to operate, because we know how to operate. We know how to operate a 73,000 agent company on 1,600 staff members only. We don't have all this overhead of all the brick and mortar that has to reside on every corner street in every single neighborhood. And so because of that, we're able to take that income that comes into eXp, half of it gets revenue shared back out to all the agents that are growing and building this company. And that is tremendous, because here you get to have that same opportunity that Jim and I did as broker owners. We collected a split off of agents, we kept it. That's how broker owners made our living. But here it gives everybody that same opportunity without the overhead, without the liability, without having to be the innovator, and without having to be the operator. And that's what we all know. Who wants the operational headache of it when you can have it all with this? We talk about that $250 a month fee. And with that, these tools, and we're going to hear so much from our guests today, but with Build Out Elite, Reonomy, Agent Hub, our eXp enriched data, air forms for all 50 states, our SkySlope transaction software, agents don't need anything else. You can drop anything else you're subscribing to and just spend the $250 a month. With all the syndication partners that we have out here, we have created those relationships where you upload your listing once into Build Out, and it's automatically going to syndicate out to all these national advertising platforms. And Jim, I have these calls and they say, oh, well, I advertise on Crexy or I advertise on LoopNet, and that's all they're taking advantage of. But then they come to eXp Commercial They upload into one spot, all of a sudden their listings are on 40 plus national advertising platforms, and they're like, oh my God, I'm getting exposure I've never seen before. And it's not costing them anything in addition to it. And we all know if you don't have a company like a build out system, you have to manually upload on each of these. I mean, my assistant was thrilled when we got build out because it saved her about 13 hours per listing manually uploading it to all these platforms.
And Steph, going on that, because the one thing that the next integration, the next change with all these tech tools, because they all want to work with us, we're actually integrating. We're all putting it together to make it simple and more simple and easier for our agents, not transposing, changing, but data, information, dashboards, right? That these terminologies have been throwing out. We're actually putting it all together because with many of these companies, we have become the largest client for them. And people, I know when you were talking to them, didn't believe it that, we were saying we're going to be a couple hundred, but we ended up at 500 commercial agents and growing even quicker now this year. So we keep leveraging the relationship and the number of commercial agents that we have, that people all want to work with us. And because people want to work with us, we could tell them what we need here to really make the business more efficient, leveraging and integrating technology. But the one big thing that we love when we had this conversation 1 year ago is when this conversation started with Enrich, and we knew the change and the power of data. Data runs everything nowadays, and it helps you predict, it helps you understand what's going on. And Steph, this is one of our big initiatives, and I'm super excited that you are kind of taking the helm, growing Enrich data, growing Modem. ESGs, as we were talking about, how we're going to be doing tax reassessment. Steph, if you could talk, because you are deep involved in this.
Everything is power, and to have all that right data, that's what's so important, but it's vetted data. It's so that our agents and brokers aren't wasting their time calling the wrong phone numbers or reaching out to the wrong people. And so we spend, with over 56 data resources that are coming into eXp's Enrich data, we make sure that we are able to have a valuation on any piece of property in the United States in seconds. And that's what's valuable, because I spent a lot of time in this industry doing BOVs or BPOs, needing to do that. Now I can do it anywhere in literally 12 minutes, 8 minutes, 6 minutes. It's right at my fingertips. But we can also utilize this, like Jim said, to give our clients an ability to lower their tax assessment. Who doesn't want to come back to an agent that can provide ammunition to save a client money, right? To have access to the mortgage note, to know how much they owe or when that loan is coming due. What is their future plan? And so we're utilizing this to not only lead generate, to have warm leads, but to also have valuation to make sure that everyone has access to the data that's necessary to scale and grow and be productive in this space. And then on the residential side, there's been so many lead generation tools for years. It's a known business on residential. But when you look at commercial, there's really no lead generation. And people are always interested. How do I lead generate? Not only do we have Enrich data and Reonomy in these places that you can lead generate, but we partnered with TenantBase so that our tenant reps and our landlord reps could lead generate and pick up any type of leasing lead anywhere in the country and basically work whatever areas and zip codes they're interested in working. And so we're supercharging our agents' pipelines immediately, utilizing technology that has existed in the residential space, but now we've brought it into the commercial space. It's tremendous, Jim.
Oh, and this one, right? This, as everyone knows, when Facebook changed their name to the metaverse, really, put a lot more attention. We were in the metaverse already. We are the metaverse, and we are a decade ahead of so many other companies. But now with the change of Facebook calling it the metaverse, there is a way that, and the power of how we are growing and scaling and educating and teaching so much is because we can bring so many people into our world, all around the world, 24/7. You can communicate. You can monitor, you walk around, you can meet people, you can break off into the side. We've had dance parties, we had educations that we had 10,000 people register, 4,000 plus people all the time in our world during our commercial symposiums and events. And then with our live trainings, with our different product type specialists. I'm really excited with the next guest as we are talking with the 4 food groups, right? Multifamily, retail, office, industrial. But as we keep doing this, we have education in land development, triple net, leasing, business off. We're going into the niches of cannabis, RV parks, self-storage. And this is the fun thing. Yes, we do these virtual events within our world constantly, but we are also doing educational programs outside. So it always keeps going. And Steph, I love the Accelerate program because, when I cut my teeth, I was at Marcus and Millichap. So, with the Accelerate program, it does follow to really help and speed up our commercial agents after you decide and you get the basics of, I like commercial real estate, now what? Joining eXp, we put you into a program where you get educated for 4 weeks and you get a mentor. And Steph, can you tell people really some of the success and how much have come out of our Accelerate program?
Absolutely. I mean, we've had over 80 brand new into this industry graduate this program. They're giving it rave reviews. And the reason why they're giving it rave reviews is because they've already experienced in just a short period of time, 3 months, 2 months, 6 weeks, they've collected a commission check. And that's what it's about. When we got into this industry, and still to this day, people say, oh, plan on 2 years before you make any money. That is only because brokerages aren't developing agents. We are here. And what I love about this is that it enables our senior advisors to also come to the table, be an advisor, coach juniors in this business, but not have to start at ground zero, not have to do all the heavy lifting. And what's great about that as well, too, is that when you have people wanting to build teams in this industry because you have so much business and there's so much referrals coming in that you need extra hands, you don't have to worry about doing all that training. We handle the training. We do the agent development. You receive the junior agent with the fundamentals and that proper foundation to where they can immediately go to work with you. And that's why they're earning money, because they've learned that. And that's important because, Jim, you got into the business, you had a bad mentor. I got into the business and I was too young for anybody to really put any time into me. So we fumbled. It took us longer. We could have failed, but we stuck it out because we're fighters. But not everybody has that ability. Here, you absolutely do. And that's what I'm so proud of this. But Jim, when we were doing all of our research, before we stood up eXp Commercial with this amazing value prop, which is what people told us they wanted to see, healthcare was a big thing. COVID was going on, and COVID's still going on today. And what we found out was commercial practitioners in this industry, they needed to pay their mortgage. They needed to put the food on the table. They gave up their health care because it's costing them so much money. We have stories over and over again. We have agents over and over again who share with us daily about they're saving $300 a month. We have one that is saving $12,000 a year, and he suffered a heart attack 2 years ago.
Yep.
I mean, it's tremendous. And what's your famous line?
Health is wealth. Health is wealth. And I said, if you don't feel stable with you, or if you could take care of your family with adequate health care and you're making these tough decisions because, our market, our industry is changing, and depending on where you're working, sometimes they take a lot of money, but you got to make that decision. What am I paying for? And a lot of times, unfortunately, healthcare drops to the wayside. I'm okay, or I'm only going to do major medical. But here at eXp, being agent centric, and I love to use that word too, with how Glenn Sanford and the vision of how our company is built, is flipping it on its head and taking care of the agents. And I love what Glenn and our team and our philosophy, our company, if you take care of enough people, you're going to get what you want. And by taking care of our agents, making sure they're healthy, providing group health care, as Stephanie says, saving thousands of dollars. A lot of times it's hilarious when we say, oh my gosh, I pay for my own independent health care. I ask how much I save. That's the cost of the $250 I pay anyway, especially with us a little over 50 years old, right? We pay a little more in healthcare, but with group healthcare, it drops it down. So I encourage everyone, and I think, oh, there it is. So you see the website. Please look it up, because even if you don't join eXp, take a look to see what you could save, and it may be a big game changer because healthcare costs keep going up, and you got to take care of your health. Otherwise, this industry is nothing for you. But Steph, when I first came in, and with our workplace and the way we communicate connecting with over 73,000 agents. I know you've been using this a lot more, and this is why we can help our junior agents and new agents, because you're right, it's a gold mine. Deals just keep coming. Share with your experience of what you've heard all around the country and world with how powerful our communication system is.
Well, Workplace enables anybody affiliated with eXp Realty or eXp Commercial to have this entire community to collaborate with. From all the way to the top to anywhere in the company, you're able to reach people in minutes. But more importantly, you're able to dive into these groups that you want to specialize in, where everyone's learning from one another. Here's a favorite story. I have a lot of these favorite stories, and I've told them on eXp Commercial Explained. But just yesterday, an agent in Florida posted $330 million portfolio. An agent in Ohio grabbed on it, and they're doing the deal, all because of Workplace. Prior to them both joining eXp Commercial, they didn't even know how to reach out to people like that. Imagine how many calls you would have to make, how many brokers you would have to search for on the internet, and you wouldn't even know if who you were reaching out to was legitimate or even qualified to do some of that representation. But this is why we've been able to see referrals of over $8 billion come from eXp Realty right over to eXp Commercial. This is why we're seeing businesses scale, because of all the collaborative effort. And we operate in the virtual world, but Workplace enables us to always be plugged in 24/7. And every 13 minutes, I think a deal's being done on Workplace. It's money. It's money, money, money. Absolutely money. Jim, the marketing center, I had a call this morning. He said, how do I make my OMs? Who's going to do that for me? And I said, can you upload a picture and can you copy and paste text? He goes, absolutely. I said, then you can have anything you need in minutes, because we've built these templates. We have enabled it to be so easy and so streamlined. And don't forget, you're not going to pay us $187,000 like you're paying your broker now. You're going to pay us only $20K max. So if you need to hire a virtual assistant or somebody to help, you can, but you don't even need to do that, because these systems are that easy for you to just utilize an email or print, post on social, whatever you need to do. It's all done for you. It's very easy to do. It's not about, you don't need a specific person to make marketing for you. You just don't, when you've got all the right tools, and that's what we've put together. I mean, we've got a lot of events that are coming up. And Jim, you spent most of last year traveling all over the country. You got me involved in it about 4 months of the last 4 months of the year, which was amazing and fun. But next Tuesday is our first 2022 national commercial meeting inside of eXp World. We want all of our, licensees to be there, but we also want guests to come in, because we've got some big announcements, don't we?
Huge announcements, very big announcements. And it's for everyone to hear kind of recaps, where we ranked, where we kind of ended up, and it's so exciting. And I want to thank all of the agents that had faith in us, and even people that didn't come over, but very big supporters, because we always say commercials is such a small industry that some people say, Jim, I can't leave, or, but hey, congratulations with all your success. You guys are doing great. That's the community. Yes, we're all different sports teams competing, playing, and doing this, but we are, as many of us have been in the industry for a long time, we are friends, and I always say we're competing as sports team, but we always like to share. And things that I said to many of the leaders is always understand what your competition and what's going on, because you can learn from each other. And that's what really brought me over to eXp is, I've always kept an open mind, learning about what is going on, to learn about what's happening here. And, it's really exciting to really have our national meeting. We have it once a month, but this is, our first one to recap. So please, everyone, if you can make it, on Thursday, 9 a.m. PST, or on Tuesday, next week, right after MLK. This is going to be a big one to really show everyone. So invite your guests, invite your friends. This is going to tell you what we're going to be planning for 2022. And always invite people to the Thursday events, this webinar, where you can really understand all of the improvements, because as we do things, we change on a monthly basis. And really our big commercial symposium, now it's separated because people are getting back to us. One whole week of 7 to 8 hours was too long. So we broke it up to still there's training, but now we're doing our 2-day live event. So mark it on your calendar, register now, April 25th to the 26th, 2022. And it's all these influencers, experts to learn from these panels of what is best in class every quarter. But Steph, I'm really excited with introducing our next guest. As you know, when I made a trip out to Florida and we were talking a little bit and catching up, and I got to hear his story and his journey, and how, and I'm not going to say anything more, but it was so inspiring. And I go, oh my gosh, Stephanie needs to know this person because of his background, his education, and his struggles and everything he's doing. It is exciting that you are finally here, Ricky, to be part of our eXp commercial family, and love for you to introduce yourself and tell us your story and journey. And then I know Steph will have some more questions, and we're just really happy that you're here. So Ricky.
Well, hi everybody. Happy New Year, eXp world. Thank you guys for having me. It is a pleasure to finally be here. I want to give a shout out to Justin Harrison, Nicholas Gentile, for working with me for the last 4 months to bring me on board. James, you've been relentless as well. I appreciate it 100% that you guys have given me the opportunity. And yes, I mean, honestly, I came from a completely different background. I was working as a developer for a small brokerage locally here in Southeast Florida. And honestly, I thought that was the absolute best job ever. I would do everything from the concept all the way to a CO. I would do all of the analytics, negotiate all of the loans and everything, coordinate the entire project, and then turn it over. And then the owner would then dispose of it. Jim came to me with this proposition of what eXp had to offer. And honestly, when I first heard about the proposition, I thought it was too good to be true. And I thought that it was going to be a situation where I was going to be bait and switched, and I was going to be offered a bunch of stuff that was going to help me build a business. And it really wasn't going to be anything. There was never going to be any follow through. Well, every time that I've called Jim, Jim's answered. Every time that I've emailed Jim, Jim has answered. I don't know how many large brokerages allow you to speak to the president of a commercial division and have that much access. From the beginning, everybody's been very transparent and has been nothing but helpful. Actually, my very first day, I walked in and I had Mrs. Trish Caballero send two leads that ended up being about $2 million deals each. And it was just this collaborative environment where people just wanted to help me be successful. Let's fast forward a month using Renemy and a couple of the other tools. We've been able to turn this small bit of traction into 42 deals, and it's staggered. I mean, some of those are commercial sales, some of those are business sales, and then some of those have turned into multi-million-dollar development deals. I'll tell you guys a quick story. Using Renemy, I sent an email to a gentleman that owned 10 acres of raw land. It's located between US 1 and Old Dixie Highway. And for those who don't understand the geography of Florida, US 1 is the main road that travels all the way from Key West to New York. And Old Dixie Highway is also another major road. So this 10-acre piece of land is nestled between two major arterial thoroughfares in our local community. I asked him if he'd have any interest in selling it. It turned into a situation where this will be a development for about 300,000 square feet of industrial warehouse space with a valuation of about $100 million upon completion. So Renemy works. I honestly, that one email is probably worth 100 years of Renemy subscriptions. And it was as simple as just saying, hey, are you interested in selling it? The algorithm that Renemy has is very accurate. It'll tell you what has a high probability of selling, what has a medium probability of selling. And so just by approaching those people and asking a simple question, would you like to know what your property is worth? We as a team have been able to get 42 deals. And these 42 deals are probably, we've estimated that it's worth close to $150 million of production in less than 1 month. So joining eXp has probably been the best decision that I've ever made. I don't think that I'll be able to thank you guys enough for actually opening my eyes to this new way of doing business. The tools here are just incredible. I mean, for being able to have an offering memorandum made for you in minutes, having the opportunity to perform a broker's opinion in less than 10 to 12 minutes, it's impressive. No other brokerage is on par with this. No one else is doing business quite like we are. I mean, we're faster, we're more accurate, and we're better. I mean, and that's the true definition of professionalism. You're able to do something better, faster, and more times than the other person. And so by doing that, we've already disrupted our local market. We went from having, brokerages that were claiming to sell $100 million. We've been able to match that production in a month with 3 people. It's only a matter of time until we actually start recruiting, because now we're getting a ton of interest from people that want to know why we're selling these marquee buildings that haven't been sold before or haven't been able to be sold before. Well, it's because we have all of the analytics here. We're able to give proper valuations. We're able to actually provide accurate performance. We're able to provide the right information that gets us the right price point. Anytime that you put something on the market, if it is priced correctly, it will move. And so all of our tools have given us the opportunity to be in the best position to want to negotiate our contracts and to actually move our product quickly. So I am beyond thrilled. This is, believe me, at my previous job, I did all of my offering memorandums. I did all of my performas. I made all of my models. And I mean, my models would take me about 26 to 30 hours to actually build and make sure that they worked. So getting something to the market took a lot longer. Here, it takes me 30 to 45 minutes to actually produce an offering memorandum, produce a performa, produce a valuation, and it's in the market. And at that moment, we're transacting this piece of real estate, whatever it may be, whether it's a business, whether it's a commercial warehouse space or a casino, because we've actually got a casino under contract today. And it's probably the easiest and most fun that I've had in real estate in my entire career. As I mentioned to you guys earlier, coming to eXp has reinvigorated me, not only in my professional life, but also my home life. I find myself having more time to spend with my kids, my wife, and it just, the opportunity that's given here at eXp is second to none.
Ricky, I am so glad you touched on all of that because, as Jim and I stated, we demoed so many tools. It was all about, okay, if we're going to operate on an 80-20 split and never get more than $20,000, which in commercial real estate, I mean, that's unheard of to have that cap of $20,000. But to have the best toolkit for our agents to truly scale, that's why we had to demo so much, because we knew we had to be the fastest to market, but the tools absolutely had to work. And so a lot of brokers and agents that I speak to, they're like, I've never even heard of Reonomy. Like, all they know is that 1,000-pound gorilla. And I tell them, here's why we chose Reonomy. And it's exactly
Sure.
what you just gave a testimonial to. Prior to eXp, had you ever even tried that out?
No, absolutely not. I didn't know what it was, to be quite honest. I just thought it was this, cool little thing. And once I got into it, I mean, it was really intuitive. It wasn't very difficult to use. And once I understood what it was, we were having a meeting here at our office, and I almost cried because I was like, you know what? This market takeover is going to be that much easier. I honestly didn't even know how to react to that, because it was just incredible to me that we had this sort of, tool that was going to tell me, hey, this has a high probability of being sold. This has a high probability of being sold. And it tells you the price points. Not only that, you have the phone numbers and emails to all of the ownership. We, like I mentioned to you guys, our very first day, the very first day I got in, I got a listing and we got a contract on a piece of property located on US 1, which is, again, the busiest road here in Southeast Florida. The next 2 to 3 days, we had 3 more contracts. Now, anywhere else, real estate doesn't happen like this. You don't just walk in somewhere and immediately build traction. It just doesn't happen. You can go to any mom and pop shop. You can go to a Keller Williams commercial. You can go to Coldwell Banker commercial. It doesn't matter. You can go to Colliers. It won't matter. You will not build that sort of traction a lot of the times, and I know that Jim came from Colliers, so I'm just making fun of him. Colliers tells you that you're going to have to at least invest 1 year in order to start generating business. Within our first week here, we were already making money. We were already generating business. We were already, transacting. And that's really the important thing, because that dictates how much success you as a, broker or licensee are going to have in your career in real estate. So this, again, just the tools, the support, being able to log into the world to ask a simple question, just the ease of how I can actually move and transact. It just makes all the difference in the world to me and to our team.
Ricky, and you know what I always love, and I know you're a modest, humble guy but it is hard because you're very analytical where you went, but I love your journey of what you told me with your family, being the first to go to college and where you went and what you've done. And Greg, your mentor, because I want people to understand the caliber of who you are as a person.
Sure.
Because, it's not just not to say agents or brokers and stuff, but you have a special caliber, and the impact of you and others coming over, it's meaningful. So if you don't mind sharing a little back further in your story and your family story and everything else, it is important.
Not at all. I mean, I'd be more than happy to share. Honestly, I was thinking that I was going to get away with not sharing it, but, because you've asked so nicely, I'm going to do it. So yes, my story originates in Mexico. My parents came to the United States. They pick crops for a living, so very humble beginnings. And that was really where I learned to have a work ethic. It was on those fields that you make very low wages. You have a very, very hard day's work, and you make very little money. And my parents were very happy doing that because it provided an opportunity for us. I remember going to these packing houses where they would go in at 5 a.m. and get out at 2 o'clock in the morning and have to be back the next day. In order for me to spend time with my parents, I had to be in those heavy industrial places or in these orange groves or, whatever grove you were in at that moment. So, a lot of what's actually made me the person that I am today is that the upbringing that they gave me. They taught me a lot that, I guess, it's something that I'm very appreciative of and I'm very proud of because it enabled me to work harder than anybody else. I've always said that I'll probably never be the smartest person in a room, but I will always be the hardest working and I will outwork everyone. So I was very fortunate to be put in a position to go to school. I was very fortunate to earn a bachelor's degree from FIU. I was able to earn a master's degree from an Ivy League institution, and I was able to earn a secondary master's degree from my dream school, which was Auburn University. That is honestly the degree that I'm most proud of. Honestly, attending Auburn was really everything to me. It was always a dream to go there. So this degree is actually a very interesting degree because it doesn't just teach you real estate development. It actually puts you in front of the biggest developers in the industry. And that's how I actually met my two mentors. Now, I speak to these mentors once a month, every month, and it's like clockwork. One of them designed the tallest building in Los Angeles. He also designed the Olympic Park in Atlanta. He's a revolutionary developer, and I am so appreciative that this guy even takes my phone calls because half the time these phone calls are simply about how to make my business better, what mistakes I'm making, where I need to make adjustments. His name is Wayne Ratkovich. I suggest that you guys all look at him or take a Google him. He is a very impressive guy, and I'm sure that if I asked him, he'd probably join us for one of these meetings. The other happens to be Tony Giordano. And Tony Giordano is the biggest developer in Nashville. Again, also built the tallest tower in Nashville. I don't know what it is with these towers, but that's what they develop. He's developed the tallest tower. He's worked on he's developed or revamped 5th and Broadway, the newest building in Nashville. He's worked at the Grand Ole Opry. And it's so refreshing that people in this industry want to help you, succeed. There's no situation where I know what I know. You don't need to know what I know. If I called them today, they'd probably answer every single question and walk me through a development deal if I needed help. Luckily, I think that, we as a team here, here in Southeast Florida and the Mulberry team, we're finding our way into a lot of industrial, a lot of warehouse space. And that's just really what the market is today. But we also have the opportunity to pivot if need be. That's really what I would like to express to you guys is that, this is a market that shifts a lot. And so you need to be able to pivot. You don't want to get, held in a specific asset class because they're interchangeable. As of right now, retail and office space is a little flat and industrial is very hot. Data centers are extremely, in demand. Florida is probably one of the best places to develop data centers because of the fiber optic cable, the infrastructure, the sunny days. We're able to offset, energy costs. And these things are able to, sell at $1,000 a square foot. So as of right now, it is the highest grossing asset that real estate offers, more so than office, more so than retail. So it's a fantastic opportunity to be able to develop a lot of really cool stuff. That is actually one of the projects that we will be looking at developing in the near future is a 50,000 square foot data center here in Southeast Florida. It makes all the sense in the world to be in a position to do that. And I would suggest that if everybody looks at their market and looks at the demand, look at the trends, let's see what employers are coming in, and you need to be ahead of that curve, because if you can put yourself in a position to actually, take advantage of who's coming and what's coming, then you're going to put yourself in a winning position.
Absolutely. And Ricky, you're just amazing. I'm so glad that you're on here today and we're getting to know one another. And I want to repeat something because it is so valuable. You said 42 deals in 30 days.
Correct.
There are senior brokers at massive firms that don't do 42 deals in 4 years.
There's entire brokerages that don't do 42 deals.
That's true.
I mean, if we look at the valuation, this is over $100 million in real estate sales, real estate and business sales. That's not including the development deal. The development deal by itself is worth $100 million. This is all because of Renovate. All we were doing was sending emails, calling people, just asking questions, having conversations with people. And it turned out to be something pretty spectacular. I mean, again, it isn't an anomaly though, because I am 100% sure that if I was dropped off in Lawton, Oklahoma, I'd be able to replicate the same thing, because I don't have to know people. I don't have to have a circle of influence. I can pick up the phone. I can send an email. I can go to certain locations and meet with owners. And right. as long as I have access to that information, I'll be able to close. Again, there's a really cool algorithm in this program that tells you that it has a high probability of selling based on the fact that they purchased it at a distant past at a very low price point, and they're more than likely willing to actually hear offers on this asset, depending on what it is. And then you use that in conjunction with all of our other tools. You can already have an offering memorandum when you show up. You can already have a valuation when you show up. So all the hard work is done for you. You're able to go in there and just close.
Absolutely. No, I'm so glad that you brought that up, because I mean, that's why we pick these tools, and that's why we partner with these, and they listen to us, as they improve and as we grow, they ask for our input on what do you all want next, because we have become their biggest account holder in less than 6 months, which has been amazing. Jim?
Yes, and thank you, Ricky. It's really exciting. And I'll tell you this, I'm not going to put Stephanie on the spot, but you and Steph has so much same experience, because one thing is we like to get to know everyone really deep, and what we like to connect with everyone is building a community, a culture. And, Ricky, I think you and I love what we're doing because of these struggles and impact and creating opportunities. We all have gone and had our own story and journey, but now we all had some, let's say, a little bit of success. Let's, make this difference, make this change, creating a pipeline of more people that can get involved And that's why Steph, myself, and more like you, Ricky, why we got so connected is that servant heart, giving back, helping out. So anyway, we are very excited here, but I'll give you the last kind of closing statement. But yes, let's ask Wayne to be on our next eXp commercial symposium, because
I'll make that
East
call.
Coast, West Coast, I was in his building. Please let Wayne know and ask him hello and see if he would do that for us. But
Sure.
Closing out, Ricky, any final words of eXp and the future of what you see from the small glimpse so far?
Sure. So look, the future is absolutely bright. If we extrapolated what we've been able to do here in a month, the sky's really the limit. I don't even want to put a number on there. It scares me, to be quite honest, that there will be so much opportunity in this small market. And I mean, by no means is this, a Miami or West Palm Beach. We're about 45 miles north. If we can do this in this market, I guarantee you can do this in any market. You can have the same level of success. It's not a difficult process. If you guys have any questions, please call me. I'd be more than happy to walk you through what we're doing. We want to see everybody be successful. But what I want to do is paint the entire country with eXp letters.
Well, Ricky, do you mind, because everyone's so interested and this gets recorded, could you give people your contact information or an email so people could reach out to you? Because people have been asking.
Sure. So my email is mulberry, MULBERRDEV @outlook.com. And my cell phone number is 772-646-2192. We look forward to working with all of you guys. I just want to be here to serve you guys. I want to help you guys put yourselves in a position to be successful. Again, there's nothing that I do differently that you guys can't do yourselves. This is a really unique opportunity for us to actually really be the #1 brokerage in the world, and really set the bar really high so that whoever is looking to take on our positions in our territories, they're going to have to work a lot harder than that. We have the tools to be extremely successful. We have the tools to just completely take over markets without really working as hard as everyone else. So I'm just 100% appreciative of the opportunity that I have here at eXp. I know Justin is appreciative. I know Nick is appreciative. We couldn't have asked for a better opportunity to just really grow our business, change our lifestyle monetarily. And I mean, it's just there's no words to express just how I feel. But I can tell you this, my 2 sons, thank you so much for your relentless effort to bring me over, because if I'd known that Renami was here and what it did, I would have signed the day that I met you.
Yeah.
I promise you, I would have signed that day, and I probably would have paid more than $250 to join.
Exactly. Well, and I'm glad you said that, Ricky, because that's what I say to everybody. If you come to eXp Commercial and you plug in and utilize the tools, even if it's just the one, you're gonna be successful. There's too much of collaboration, referrals, networking, all of it and I'm just glad that you have had success with it, and that you immediately, obviously, got plugged into it all immediately to get this success to happen. So it's great.
And
go ahead.
No, go ahead, Ricky. Sorry.
What it was just really this relentless effort to just really make an impact and make a splash. Again, the way that I'm wired, I'm not wired to be a passive person. I'm wired to just go out there and get it. And I will work till 12 o'clock at night, and sometimes my wife will yell at me for working or answering calls in the middle of the night. And she's watching, so thank you. I'm sorry.
You're built just like Jim and I. We're guilty too.
But that's what it takes to be successful. You don't want to be the person that just kind of lets things fall by the wayside. You want to be the person that's out there getting it. When the phone rings, you want to answer it, because if you're not answering it, they're calling somebody else.
Yeah. Ricky, I'm so glad that we can call you our business partner. I'm glad that you're here at eXp Commercial. I am so glad. And I think Reonomy is going to be thrilled, because this is like a wonderful commercial and testimonial to their product, which we utilize. But Jim?
Yeah, no. So Ricky, yeah, you are the poster child. Don't be surprised if you reach out, but this is so much fun. And, yes, we all work hard and we know that's just the price of admission of this business, but we are building a culture. We are doing a lot of good things and we are, building this community, friendship and collaboration. Like you said, we're all open. Stephanie's open 24/7. Ricky, I don't know. I'm going to compare you and Stephanie. You guys work crazier, and I thought I worked hard. You guys are dynamo, but and these are the business partners and the people and how we collaborate and the openness. Like you said, we are all open because this is one company. We're all shareholders, so we are very excited for you to be part of our team, part of our family, part of our community, and we're going to keep growing it for 2022. So we invite everyone to come to our national meeting on Tuesday at 9 a.m. in the world. If someone invited you, please come by, take a look to hear what we've accomplished in one short year and what we're planning for 2022. And yes, we do have fun too. So everyone, please have a healthy, safe new year, prosperous year. And we look forward to seeing everyone very soon. And Ricky and Steph, I know we have to get together now because I found you two are kindred spirits. And Ricky, speak with Wayne, please. And let's get him on our keynote speaker.
I will speak with him.
Everyone, have a great day and see everyone very soon. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.